Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Word Mail for today. It's a pleasure having you all here. I hope we all had a wonderful and a beautiful day. You're welcome. Today we'll be studying Genesis chapter 33, but before we go ahead, let's say a prayer. Our Father in heaven, we're grateful unto you for today. We thank you for your tender mercies upon our lives. We're grateful unto you for the gift of life. We thank you for food, clothing, shelter. We thank you for granting us yet another privilege to study your word. We ask for your spirit to be present in our midst as we study, to teach us, to inspire us, to enlighten our minds. Give us the grace even to apply your word to our lives. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Good evening and welcome. So I'll take the reading, Genesis chapter 33. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah, and unto Rachel, and unto the two handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. And he passed over before them, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw the women and the children, and said, Who are those with thee? And he said, The children which God hath graciously given thy servant. Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near, and bowed themselves. And after came Joseph near, and Rachel, and they bowed themselves. And he said, What meanest thou by all this drove which I met? And he said, These are to find grace in the sight of my Lord. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother, keep that thou hast unto thyself. And Jacob said, Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face, as though I had seen the face of God, and thou wast pleased with me. Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because God hath dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. And he said, Let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee. And he said unto him, My Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with young are with me. And if men should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die. Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly, according as the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure, until I come unto my Lord, unto Seir. And Esau said, Let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, What needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord. So Esau returned that day on his way unto Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built him an house, and made booths for his cattle. Therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padan Aram, and tent before the city. And he bought a parcel of a field where he had spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar, and called it Elohi Israel. And the Lord bless his reading in Jesus' name. Welcome to all who have joined the live. It's a pleasure having you here. If you're joining us for the first time, this is Word Mail, a Bible study channel. Here we study the Holy Bible, and we get the message the Lord has for us in each chapter. We're currently studying the Old Testament, and we're in the book of Genesis. I hope you'll stay on with us as we study God's Word. You're welcome. So, yesterday we saw how Jacob was preparing to meet Esau. Okay? And we're told that he was so scared. He sent some of his servants to go and meet Esau and tell him that he is coming. And then Esau Esau, the servants came back and told Jacob, said, Esau, we met your brother Esau, and he's coming with with 40 men. Okay, no, not 40, 400 men. That was a lot. 400 men. And we're told that Jacob was afraid. So he was greatly afraid and distressed. Okay, so what he now did in this chapter 33, which we just read, is that when he looked and he saw Esau coming from afar, he divided his children and wives. Okay, so he put the handmaids, that is Bilhah and Zilpah, Rachel and Leah's handmaids, with their children in front. And then behind them, he put Leah and her children. And then at the at the last, he put Rachel and Joseph. Now, he did this so that if Esau comes, or when Esau arrives, he will first meet the maids and their children. And if he wants to kill, he will start killing, the maids and their children. And perhaps before he will get to Leah may have found a way to escape with her children. But if Leah is unable to escape, at least Rachel and Joseph, who were his beloved, will escape. So he put Rachel and Joseph last, because he wanted a situation where if there was any problem, okay, they would be able to escape. He didn't want anything to happen to them. Now, this was so obviously, he was so obviously biased here. He did not even bother to try to hide it. And of course, he had never tried to hide it anyway, that Rachel was his favorite. And of course, it goes without saying that her son Joseph would also be his favorite. So they were the two most important people to him. Okay, so he did not want anything to happen to them. He wanted to give them the best chance of escape in the event that Esau was still angry with him and decided to kill his family. And what I want to say here is that now, of course, the maids were not Jacob's first choice. Neither was Leah or her children. They were expendable to him. They were dispensable. Even though they were his wife and children, they were dispensable, they were expendable. I want to say that, or I guess I'll put it as a prayer, that when you are not man's first choice, okay, and are expendable to them, may God be with you. May God be on your side. When you are not man's first choice and are expendable to them, may God be on your side. May God be on your side. Now, he had two wives. The right thing for him to have done was to put all his children and his wives together. But instead, he divided them according to their level of importance to him. So the least important was foremost, and the most important was hindermost. That is Rachel and Joseph. The least important being the maids and their children, even though they also were his children. Leah, who was also his wife, legitimately, was still not a first choice to him, was still expendable to him. Pray that when you're not man's first choice, and when you're expendable and dispensable to them, I pray that God will be on your side. I pray that God will be on your side. Okay. And then, after he had divided them, into based on their level of importance. He went ahead of them, okay? And we're told that he bowed himself 7 times to the ground until he came near to his brother Esau. And verse 4 is a very lovely verse. Verse 4 says, "And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept." This is such a great example of forgiveness. And to think that it came from Esau is quite surprising. But this gives us an insight into who Esau was. Yes, he may not have been the chosen by God. And yes, he was not exactly, did not exactly make his parents proud. But he wasn't exactly a bad man per se. Very few people can forgive like this. Very few people can do what Esau did. We're told that when Esau saw his brother Jacob, he ran. Esau, ran to meet him. We're told that he embraced him. He fell on his neck and he kissed him, and they wept. This was a display of genuine forgiveness. He may have been a careless patriarch, but he was a loving elder brother. He may have been a careless patriarch and unworthy, unfit for that mantle, but he was a loving elder brother. He was not exactly a bad man. He was someone who could forgive genuinely. We know that time heals wounds. There are people who have the ability to hold on to a grudge, especially a grudge like that, for 30, 40, 50 years. And they wait patiently until the day they see the person again. But Esau forgave genuinely. When he saw his brother, he didn't wait for Jacob to get to him. He ran. He ran to meet him. He embraced him. He kissed him. When he was crying, Jacob was crying. They wept. I pray that the Lord will help us to forgive. If Esau can forgive, then we can too. If Esau can forgive his brother Jacob for what Jacob did to him, then you can forgive that person who wronged you. What Jacob did was bad. It was terrible. In case you've forgotten what Jacob did to him, I'll refresh your memory. Isaac, their father, told Esau, "Go to the field, kill an animal, and make venison for me. Prepare it the way I like it, and come, so that I will bless you." And Rebekah, their mother, asked Jacob to go and get the blessing. She prepared the meat the way her husband liked it. Okay, made Jacob to wear Esau's clothing, and all of that. Put the animal skins on his neck and his hands, and sent him. And Jacob went and collected Esau's blessing. And we're told that Esau was so angry, and he was planning that as soon as their father died, he would kill Jacob. Before Jacob was sent away to go and live with Laban. Okay, and now this was 20 years later, and Jacob was returning. But Esau had let go. He did not keep the grudge for 20 years. He did not hold on to that hurt. He let go. From his actions, we can see that he had forgiven Jacob a long time ago. The forgiveness was not on the spot there. The forgiveness had taken place, had happened a long time ago. And perhaps he had wondered when next he would see his brother, his younger brother Jacob. And then we're told in verse, if you can hear me, please leave a comment. I don't know what's I hope we've not been cut off from this live. Can you hear me? Can anyone still hear me? If you can hear me, please just leave a comment so I'll know that we're still live. Okay, thank you. So we continue. And we're told that when Esau, looked and he saw the women and the children, he asked Jacob, he said, "Who are these with you? Who are these with you?" And Jacob said, "They are the children that God has graciously given unto me." I pray that the Lord will bless you, will put you in a position where you will need to explain yourself because of how abundantly he has blessed you. Because I pray that the Lord will put you in that position where you will need to explain. You have to explain because you will not be the same person. You will not be the same way you were when they last saw you. You will not be on the same level you were when they last met you. You will need to start explaining. You will need to give some positive, that positive explaining. You will need to explain yourself. Okay? May you be fuller than the last time they met you and the last time they saw you. Okay. As at the time Jacob left, he left with just his staff, his walking stick, and maybe little food, little water. And he was coming back with, a great company. And Esau said, "Who are these with you?" And Jacob had to, explain. But it was a good explanation. It was a good, because you're explaining the blessings of God. Because you're not the same way you were when they last met you. So you have to explain that, I pray that will be your portion. That the Lord will put you in that position. He will take you to that level where people will ask you, "How come? What's going on? Who is this little child I'm seeing with you?" And they say, "Oh, this is my child." "Which car is this? The last time I saw you, you didn't have a car. Whose car is this?" And they say, "Oh, well, the Lord has blessed me with a car. It's mine." That kind of explanation is actually really nice. It's really sweet. I pray that will be your portion, that you will need to explain, because you will not be the same way you were when they last saw you. In Jesus Christ's name. And so Jacob explained, he said, "These are the children that God has graciously given to me." And then the handmaids came near, Zilpah and Bilhah. They came near with their children. They bowed themselves to Esau. And then Leah also came near with her children, and they bowed themselves. And then after that, Rachel also came near. Remember, Jacob had separated them, and of course there was some distance between each mother and her children. There was some distance between the maids and Leah, and some distance between Leah and Rachel. So finally, Rachel came near with Joseph, and they also bowed themselves to Esau. And then Esau asked, he said, "What is the meaning of all the droves that I met, the animals? I'll meet this drove, then I'll move a little and I'll meet another one. What exactly is the meaning of all of those?" And Jacob said, "These are to find grace in the sight of my Lord. These are to find grace in your sight." These are to find grace in your sight. And then Esau now said in verse 9, he said, I have enough, my brother. Keep what you have to yourself. You see that Esau was not someone to nurse a grudge for years. He forgave freely and from his heart. And also, he was not a greedy man. He was not greedy. If Laban was in the position of Esau, Laban would never say, keep what you have. For what? He would gladly take it. In fact, he'll be looking for more to take. But Esau was not a greedy man. He said, I have enough, my brother. I never thought I'd love Esau, but reading this chapter just made me have a soft spot for him. Like I said earlier, he may have been a careless patriarch. He was someone who did not understand the gravity, the weight of spiritual things, especially the weight of the covenant line, and the weight of his calling as the first son in the covenant line. But he was not a bad man. And he was not someone who had a bad heart. He was not someone who had a bad heart. He was not one to be resentful and to hold a grudge for too long. He was not greedy. And then Jacob said, when Esau said, no, I have enough, my brother, keep what you have to yourself. And Jacob said, nay, no, I pray you, if I have found grace in your sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face, as though I had seen the face of God, and thou wast pleased with me. Take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, because God hath dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. Jacob was a wise man. You know what Jacob did? Esau said, no, my brother, keep what you have to yourself, my brother. I have enough. Don't stress yourself. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. I have enough. And of course, Esau had enough, more than enough, because he was the first son of Isaac, and he was the one who inherited all the wealth of Isaac. So he had more than enough. But Jacob said, no, please, take it. Take it, please. It is a gift to you. Okay, take it. Besides, God has blessed you. First said, because I have seen your face, as though I have seen the face of God, and you were happy with me. So I have seen your face, as though I have seen the face of God, and you were happy with me. Here Jacob was trying to tell this was an act of extreme, or a speech, a statement of extreme humility. Remember, he calls Esau my lord, and he calls himself Esau's servant. It was a term at that time used to denote superiority and and all of that. So I have seen your face as though I have seen the face of God. So the reverence was, yes, Esau, Jacob was trying to tell Esau how much he revered him, how What's the word? He was trying to show Esau how much reverence he had for him. Say, I've seen your face as though I have seen the face of God. That is how much respect, how much reverence he had for his brother Esau. And he said, and you were pleased with me. Knowing that you're happy with me is enough. So this, please take it. It is my gift to you. Besides, I also have enough. God has blessed me, and I also have enough. Jacob was wise. I want to say this. If you offer someone a gift and they reject it out of politeness, do not take it back. Ensure that they take that gift. I don't know if you get my point. You offer someone a gift and they say, oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry, I'm fine, I don't need it. Just keep it. Don't keep it. Don't take back that which you have offered to someone else. Ensure that they take it. Press them to take it. Okay. You offer someone a gift and they politely decline. Ensure that they take it. I'm not talking about a situation where because there are people who give people gifts out of with ulterior motives. I'm not talking about a situation where you've poisoned somebody's drink or poisoned someone's food and you offer it to them and they say, no, I don't want, and you keep on pressing them to take it. No. Okay. I'm not talking about a situation where you have an ulterior motive. You should not have an ulterior motive in giving someone a gift. Especially don't give someone something that will harm them. Please. Never give someone a gift that will harm them. Okay. But I'm saying that you give someone a gift out of the goodness of your heart, out of the love that you have for them, out of the gratitude you have for them, out of, the abundance of your heart. Yeah. You give someone a gift and they decline, they reject. Do not take back the gift. Do not keep it. Ensure that they collect the gift that was meant for them. Okay. And that is what Jacob did. Esau said, no, don't worry, my brother. Don't worry, keep what you have. I have enough. And Jacob said, no, my Lord. It is yours. Okay. Take it. See, and we're told in verse 11, it said, and he urged him. That is, Jacob urged Esau. And Esau finally took it. That is what you should do. Urge them to take it. Especially when you have designated this gift for them as theirs. You say, this gift, I am giving it to this person. And then the person says, no, I don't want it. Ensure that you give it to them. Let them take it. Okay? I pray that the Lord will help us. And then Esau now told to Jacob, he said, let's go together. Okay, I will go before you. Let's journey together. And Jacob said, oh my Lord, you know that the children are still young, okay, and some of the cattle, some of the flocks and herds have young children too. And if we overdrive them in one day, all the flock will die. Okay, if we overdrive them in one day, all the flock will die. He said, let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant. Say, you can go, my Lord. I will come slowly, so that will not overbear the children, the young children and the young cattle. I will come behind you slowly. Okay. And then Esau said, okay, okay. But let me leave some of the people I came with you. Because Esau came with 400 men. You know, the Esau coming with 400 men was an act of love. It was done out of love. Although Jacob, before Esau got to him, Jacob was scared. Jacob definitely did not see it as an act of love. But it was done as an act of love. Because he took 400 men because he wanted a situation whereby when he meets his brother Jacob, the men will journey with Jacob to help him, to keep them safe and all of that. In case trouble comes, they can fight for him, you know. And also, he wanted them to see his brother. He was happy. He was elated that his brother was coming home. Okay, so it was an act of love. He said, let me leave some of the men I came with you. Okay. And Jacob said, what's the point? There's no need, my lord. Don't worry. Just go. I'll come along softly, slowly. So Esau went back that day, okay, to Seir, where he was. I want to also point out the aspect of gift giving and gift receiving. Yes. If someone offers you a gift, accept it, except in special circumstances where the Spirit expressly ministers to you not to collect, or you have been warned prior to that time, maybe by a prophet, or you have dreamt, you have seen it in a dream or something, and you know that you should not collect that gift. Otherwise, collect it. Collect it. You never know. You know, one thing I want to point out is that, how do I put this now? Okay, gifts have power. Whether they are gifts to God or gifts to man, gifts have power. When you give God gifts, he blesses you. When you give man gifts, God also blesses you. And you never know, that gift you receive from someone might be what will open their door, might be what will bring the answer to a prayer they may have been praying for months. Okay? Give gifts from your heart. And if you're offered gifts, receive them graciously and bless those who gifted you. Bless the person who gifted you. Say a prayer for that person. Okay. Learn to give gifts and also receive gifts. Do not be the reason why someone's way is blocked. You never know, that gift you reject might block the way of the receiver. Perhaps if you receive that gift, perhaps your receiving that gift will be what will open a particular door they have been knocking on for long. You might not know. And when you reject it and they keep it, that door remains closed. You might feel like, no, I don't have such power. Why will someone giving me a gift open a door, for them? Or why will someone giving me a gift? Why will my collecting a gift from someone be what will bring an answer to their prayer? You might feel like, oh no, I don't have such power. Who am I? But it doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. Perhaps, you never know, the Lord may have impressed it upon their souls, upon their hearts, to give you that gift. And they bring it. And you need to collect it so that that door can open for them, or so that that answer they are looking for can come. And when you reject it and they keep it, the answer does not come. You actually have that. Is not because of the power you have. It is just that at that point, you are the one to unlock that door by receiving that gift they give to you. That sacrifice they make towards you is what should unlock that door for them. I don't know if we can understand what I'm saying, but I pray that the Holy Ghost will help us to get this message. So please, if someone offers you a gift, collect it, receive it, and say a prayer for them. The Lord bless us as we do so. So give gifts to God, give gifts to man. The Lord will bless you. And so Esau went back that day, and Jacob, we're told that Jacob he journeyed to a place called Succoth, and he built a house there, and he made booths for his animals. Okay. And then he also went, and then from there he went to a place called Shalem, a city of Shechem, okay, in the land of Canaan. And then he pitched his tent before the city. And we're told that he bought a parcel of field where he had spread his tent at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. Okay, and in verse 20, we're told that he erected there an altar and called it El Elohi Israel. El Elohi Israel. We see that this tradition of raising altars, it started from Abraham. Abraham was a man who built. He raised so many altars. In fact, remember the dream that Jacob had, okay, where he saw a ladder that was on earth and reached to heaven. The stone that he used to sleep was one of the reason why he had that dream at that spot, was because that stone that he used to sleep, okay, that he used as his pillow, was one of the stones that his grandfather Abraham had used to build an altar to God at Bethel. Okay, was one of the stones that his grandfather Abraham had used to build an altar at that place. So when he got to that place, he took that stone, he used it as his pillow, and heaven opened unto him. And God himself spoke to him. He saw God, and God spoke to him and reiterated the covenant that he had made with his grandfather Abraham. Okay. Oh, wow, that's interesting.